Imagine if there's an activity on a cruise ship you don't like and you just don't go. Imagine not believing everything you see on the internet is factual and true. And imagine getting caught breaking the rules and not somehow making it the cruise line's fault. Welcome to this week's episode of What Every Cruiser Wants. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this week's video. And of course, we are back and we have 3 new cruise comments for you this week. And yes, we're going to talk about people who don't like an activity on a cruise ship, but instead of them not going to it, simply doing something else, it should be canceled. Another example of someone who saw something on Facebook and now everybody they know is just fuming mad over something that isn't true. And finally, breaking a rule on a cruise ship, getting caught, and of course, it's automatically the cruise line's fault, and they should be punished. So let's jump into today's comments. Let's find out, are these people right? Are these people wrong? Do you agree with them, or do you disagree? First up today, let's talk about activities on cruise ships. See, there are a lot of different activities on board cruise ships. They may not be for everyone. Just because you love cruising, just because you love going on a cruise ship, doesn't mean that you love every single activity that happens on board. Maybe you don't like trivia. Maybe you don't like production shows. Maybe you don't like water slides. And in the case of this person, they really don't like the adult comedy show. But is it really that complicated that you have to write in this type of comment when you simply don't have to go? We just got off a 6-day cruise on blank. The ship is stunning and the service outstanding. Overall, the entertainment was great with the exception of the 18+ comedy. We couldn't believe what both comedian entertainers brought up. Incredibly inappropriate for any age. The first one opened up with the F word, and within the next 5 minutes, dropped it at least 3 times. Then went on to talk about our blank. Then he put people in the audience into the scenario of the Coldplay affair couple. It was racist, and it was cruel. I could not believe that everyone stayed and listened to this filth. We walked out. I was told that this comedian is one of Carnival's star performers. In my opinion, he should be fired. Politics, sexual connotations, and the use of the F-bomb have no place on a so-called family cruise line. Healed. No place, I tell you. So you went to the adult comedy show, over 18, with a sign that says explicit content, and you were shocked, surprised, and disgusted that you saw and heard explicit content. Then they got up and walked out, which is perfectly fine. If you don't like it, it's not for you. You got up and left. That really should have been the end of the situation. The reason other people stayed is because they liked it. They enjoyed it. They wanted to hear it. But because you didn't like it, the comedian should be fired. Somebody should lose their job over your thought and your opinion, not everybody else's. But again, the solution, super easy, super simple. Anybody can do it. If you don't like it, you don't want to hear it, it's not for you, it's not your thing, just don't go. Stop trying to make people lose their jobs. Stop trying to make cruise line change the way they do things over you and your opinion. Just don't go. That easy. Now, I know I've said this before. I guess we have to say it again. Just because you saw it on the internet, whether that's YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, whatever the case may be, just because you see it on the internet does not make it true. If it is not coming from a reliable source, if it is not coming from the cruise line itself, or at least based on a statement or a fact the cruise line has put out, stop believing it just because somebody says it. And if the comment just sounds really crazy, really ridiculous, outrageous and, way out there in left field. Look, check before you get upset, because chances are, just like this comment, it's probably not true. Have you seen the YouTube channel of blank? In one of his videos, he said that he has an inside source that has told him that in August, Carnival will start charging an extra $20 for every checked bag on short cruises that are less than 6 days. Before I take some Mylanta and shout at you, I thought I would give you a chance, John Heald, to say if there is any truth in this. I moderate a Facebook group with 89,000 members, and some are already spitting blood. Now, I get that Carnival, they've done some things recently that are not in the best interest of cruisers. However, it is not true that they are going to start charging for checked bags on short cruises. Carnival's already come out and said, no, we are not doing this. We are not making this change. And we've seen comments like this before. I don't know if this is the same YouTube channel that has come up in times past, where there are rumors that are constantly being started about Carnival Cruise Lines. They involve statements just like this that are just outrageously out there. And time again, you have to come back and say they are not true. Look, if you see something on the internet that just doesn't seem right, double check with the cruise line, because we definitely don't need 89,000 people from some Facebook group spitting blood over something that clearly is not true. And finally, breaking the rules on a cruise ship, getting caught, and somehow making yourself out, or trying to make yourself out as the victim. I did something I wasn't supposed to do. I got caught, and now they made me feel like a criminal. They are wrong. There should be consequences for their actions. Never once do they ever go, well, crap, I got caught breaking the rules. Now I've got to deal with what comes. They don't ever say that. They always say somebody else's fault. I am the victim. And of course, this comment is going to be no different. I was treated like a criminal by security on the blank. They removed and took away my Bell & Howell socket ceiling fan. I told him it was for medical purposes, but he would not let me keep it. What happened to customer service? I know it was our cabin steward who ratted us out. I will not be giving our usual gratuity to her. Security should be concentrating on kids pressing elevator buttons, not my fan. So you are allowed to bring a fan on board a cruise ship, a fan that is 12 inches or smaller. But I'm going to show you this because I had to look this up, exactly what a Bell & Howell socket ceiling fan was. Take a look at this thing. This thing has to screw into a light socket. It's not something you plug in and put on a desk. This goes on the ceiling and screws into a light socket. So my first question is, where exactly was this ceiling fan? You would have had to, find a light bulb in the ceiling, unscrew it, to screw this ceiling fan in the first place to even make it work. So I don't know exactly where this was in the room, but that's not something you're supposed to have. That's not something you're supposed to do. And of course, if the room steward goes in the room and sees this thing, naturally they're going to tell somebody that's their job. And now security comes, and of course, they feel that security is treating them like a criminal for getting caught doing something they weren't supposed to do. And of course, they want to know, well, what's happened to customer service? Why is the customer not always right? I am the cruiser. I wanted to do it. It doesn't matter about rules and regulations. It should be all about me because I want good customer service. Yeah, right. But the solution is to blame the room steward. The room steward told on us, and because the room steward told on us for breaking the rules on a cruise ship, and security had to come down and confiscate our item, our solution is to take away gratuities, is to make sure she does not get a gratuity for doing her job. I gotta know what type of person out there, knowingly or unknowingly, but broke the rules, got caught, didn't go, I didn't know, I will never do it again, I understand why you have taken this, didn't take that road, instead said, I was ratted out, I was treated like a criminal, gratuities are coming off. That really is the type of person you are? Who's excited to sail with this person on a future cruise? And that is going to be our video this week for what every cruiser wants. You guys let me know in the comments below what you think about these comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are these people right? Are they speaking for you? Are these changes that need to be made immediately before your next cruise? Let me know in the comments below. Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.